Hi, it's me, Guy, and today I will be going over how I do renders and such. Sorry for those little Alfred plushies sent to you. Those are just for my own safety. But for Blender renders, I start in Studios and I pose them first before I do anything. And what I like to do for posing is to look at the character themselves and look at some references, as you will see me go through a bunch of images on the web just to see what I can pose them with. So I find one piece of fan art and I'm like, yeah, maybe this one will fit, like the Forsaken inspiration of Elliot. So I do a little bit of posing, something similar, but I change it up a bit with him holding a pizza box. Mostly because he's holding a pizza box in his official render, so I decided, hey, maybe I should just put another pizza box on there, why not? And so you can see me just going around and messing with its limbs and stuff just to find the right pose. And you see where I place my camera? It's because I place my camera in a place where I'm going to place it in Blender. I'm going around and just trying to tidy him up a bit so I can look. And then I save his file, and I move on to Blender. And when Blender happens, I go in, I change the render mode to cycles. Cycles is where you get your most, for cycles it gives more depth, it gives more resolution. And I messed up there because something happened when I was talking to someone, so I reopened it and redid it. And I changed the camera to be 3000 by 3000 and I then pose it and then change the dimensions. That's because it lets you get more detail in it. And then for my lighting, I keep the point light and the power it has. And as you can see right here, I'm going around finding the right colors of light, putting it wherever I can, so it can look at least decent. And since Elliot has a yellow skin tone, his skin tone gets really wonky in lighting, so that's what I'm going to be changing in my image software after I get a nice amount of colors I want for this character. And then I wait for it to render. But basically for coloring and lighting, I always keep the lighting somewhat of what the character's main color is or what his personality is. I put blue, I put some orangish yellow in there because 1, he's a pizza boy, and 2, he's outside, so that's why blue lighting is there and yellow lighting. And then name the file whatever you want. And as you can see, I'm moving around, changes of colors in the image thing. And as you can see, I'm changing the yellow on there so it can look more yellowish and it can fit something. And I do that so I can go in and change the saturation, brightness, and then I put on some texture that I find. I looking around and I overlay it and I'm like, yeah, okay, this works. And I erase it, put it over, make sure nothing's behind, and then I put some halftones on there because what I think is I put some halftones on there because it fits. So I overlay it again, transparent it, see what it looks like, and go around, erase it, and then I put my drop shadows in. That's what I always do for my renders. I always drop shadow it. Anyways, continuing on while this is still freeze framed. Basically, what I do is that I always start in Blender. I always start in Studios. When I start in Studios, I do that only for posing. When it comes to posing, what I can tell, a tip for anyone who wants to do renders in R6, do not be afraid to detach the arms and legs to fit your camera perspective better. You probably, if you're like a 3D animator or a 3D artist, you'll know foreshortening. Foreshortening is moving stuff closer to the camera or further from the camera to make it look better. You can do that with your renders, or you can just move the arms and legs around to just give a more dynamic pose. Remember, you are limited. You are very, very limited with what you can do posing wise for your R6 renders. Why? It's because you can only move one joint, being the arm, a blocky arm. What can you do? What you could do is imitate human poses as much as you can. Think about it. There is your arm is what I will say separated into 3 sections. Your hand, the longer part of your arm, and then the shorter part, which is connected by an elbow. What you want to do is you want to reference what your longer part of the arm is going to look like, because you want viewers to just fill in the blanks with the shorter arm. That for R6. As you can see with artists, they bend R6 things. Now there are rigs for that, but if you're limited with just a normal R6 rig, you are going to need to just follow what your longer arm looks like. The hand to the longer part, the hand to your elbow, that's what you're going to be referencing when you're looking at any reference photos or for poses. That's what you want to do, because you're going to have the viewers fill in the blank, having that other piece of shorter arm into their mind. Because if you can get that, what I just described, into your pose, people will know what the arm is supposed to be doing. Now, for coloring, what I do is I color the characters lighting wise based off how they are. Now, when I mean how they are, I always ask, hey, what does this character do? How is this character? What does this character entail in their lore? And what you want to do is use the stereotypes colors are tuned into emotion wise. Red is anger, or orange is happy, yellow is happy, green is disgusted, green is life, blue is sad, blue is water, stuff like that. You know, for Elliot, I put blue, and I put some orange, and I put some purple. I don't know why I did some purple, but it fit in a way that brings out the black more which is a nice thing. Blue and orange for Elliot is something you should look more into. He is a pizza boy. That means he's dealing with hot items. He has a mostly red outfit. Blue, he's outside all the time. He is a delivery boy, and his art and all that. But this Forsaken Elliot, yep, he's kinda different, but he's not timid. He's not that. He can hold himself, basically. That's why they gave him a more confident pose, a more, hey, what's up, I'm your pizza boy type of vibe. And then for the image editor, you can use whatever. I use a free one that I only pay for to just download as many files as I need, and just some access to a few more tools. And I've been learning to use this one for about 4 years, so that's why I'm a little bit proficient in it, but it's really easy anyways. What I do is saturate what I do is put some saturation, some brightness, change some colors around a bit to fit the final effect. And then I put some textures and some halftones if I want to, and then I put the drop shadow. That's my render style. I always put a drop shadow, fully black, and then a transparent version, just because it makes it pop out. Now you can do whatever you want, I don't care. Whatever makes your renders pop out, and whatever you're referencing makes it pop out, that's what you do. Now, I'm gonna show the finished version. Here it is, but thank you for watching. I know this is a whole yap session, and maybe a little bit too fast, but this is my first time doing this, so yeah. Hopefully you take this into account. Oh wait, before I go, Blender, you want to use cycles. Cycles. Why? Because on the older versions I use for Blender, models don't show up in Eevee. Cycles gives your model, makes your model opaque, and you can do stuff with it. Well, you can't really do stuff with it, but you can see what it looks like render wise, and then you want to denoise it. Transparent, denoise it for the render. If you don't denoise the render, then it won't look as good as you want it to. You want to denoise. Take that into account. And cycles, if you're like some other Blender person and you have models, cycles gives you more high definition renders. If you expand your camera more, if you're rendering something like a model or something and you want it high definition where someone can zoom in and look at all the details, change your camera thing to be like 3000 to 3000, denoise it, put it on cycles, and bada bing bada boom, high definition render right there. That's my tip. I could be totally wrong, but that's what I always do. Anyways, now I can say thank you for watching all that. Seriously, if you came here to watch it, I'll make more maybe, but here's your tutorial that I don't know how to do tutorials and stuff. Bye.